Joining us now is Lori Turnball, political analyst. Thank you for joining us today, Lori. Lori, what are you keeping an eye on this weekend?
So it looks like in the polls now, the UCP has a bit of an edge. This has been a really close election where you can see both parties sometimes like kind of maintaining quite a significant chunk of support. And then it's going to be up to those undecided voters, people who haven't decided totally yet where they're going to land. Perhaps in the very vote-rich area of Calgary is going to be really consequential. You don't want to make the election about the polls, right? Polls are not votes, but they're an indication of where people are thinking and where people are feeling. It's going to be interesting to see what the voter turnout is. It's going to be interesting to see whether the popular vote matches the seat counts, in the sense that the race is so close that it could be that one party actually wins the popular vote, and the other wins the seat count. And so lots to watch for.
And being that Calgary is the biggest battleground, how important is it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because it seems like a lot of people have been talking about how there are actually two Albertas. There's a chunk of people who are going to vote for the NDP. There is a chunk of people who are going to vote for the UCP, and not a whole lot of crossing over back and forth. And so what's going to be interesting to see in a place like Calgary, where the parties are very close, it does look like the UCP is ahead there at that point. But again, it depends on how those votes are counted, because you might get, some ridings, all you need to win a riding, any riding, is to come first. And so you might see, a lot of votes cast for a party, for a candidate in a specific riding. If you don't come first, that adds toward the popular vote, but it doesn't add toward the seat count. And so because the parties, again, are so close in terms of their popular vote, and that hasn't changed a whole lot over the course of the campaign, it could be a late night when this thing goes through.
And there's been plenty of mudslinging in this final stretch. Can these tactics work, or do they backfire?
We are seeing these tactics a lot more commonly in politics today, where it's not just about mobilizing your own supporters, it's also about suppressing the votes of your opponents. And so making your opponent look a lot less attractive to voters who could support them. Mudslinging, kind of danger, warnings. If this person forms government, you're going to see this happen. And so we've seen a lot of that in this campaign. We've seen a lot of attempts on the part of the UCP to sort of tie Rachel Notley in with Jagmeet Singh and give people a bit of a kind of scare around, do you really want an NDP government? And look at what Jagmeet Singh is doing in Ottawa. He's partners with Trudeau, like all these kinds of scare tactics, right? Meaning, and at the same time, Notley and the NDP are trying to get through to people around who Danielle Smith is, and things like the violation of the Conflict of Interest Act don't help, right? Because this is part of the narrative that the Premier is bringing to this campaign and to this office as the incumbent.
And are you concerned the political divisiveness will deter Albertans from voting?
It can, because when you start getting into these voter suppression tactics, which is really about, suppression can take all sorts of things, but in an informal kind of suppression attempt, it's about trying to make people not vote for the other person. And so then there's a sort of negativity about the whole thing. And just because you might be convinced not to vote for the candidate you were going to vote for, doesn't mean you're going to vote for the other people. And so that's where you get the suppression and turnout overall, is that people will self-select out of a process where they don't see any candidates that they actually want to vote for. This is not just a problem in Alberta, by the way. This is a problem across the board. We're seeing that happen in provinces across the country. We're seeing it happen at the federal level, where the types of tactics that parties and candidates and leaders can get involved in actually contribute to less engagement in democracy. And then we have a real problem.
Well, we thank you so much and appreciate your time today, Lori. Lori Turnball, political analyst. Thank you.